let's begin. I want to talk about cost of production. And to do this, we're going to go through. All right, just don't mess it up, okay? All right, thank you. We're going to do a lesson on cost, and I'm going to tell you a little story, a real story.
Ще направим един урок относно себестойност, калкулация на себестойност. Сега ще ви разкажа една история.
So, I grew up in a family of women.
Израснах в семейство, в женско семейство.
I was the only boy in the family.
Бях единственото момче.
And I had a male dog, and he was very, very important to me.
Имах и женско куче, което беше много важно за мен.
And I had 3 sisters who seemed to like to give their brother a rough time.
Имах 3 сестри, които
I say 3 sisters gave me trouble. Always gave me trouble.
Аз така разбрах, които ми създаваха неприятности.
But in spite of that, we had quite a good relationship.
Но въпреки това ние имахме добри отношения.
So my oldest sister
Най-голямата сестра
became very interested in antiques.
С времето доста се заинтересува от антики.
She would spend a lot of time buying and collecting antiques.
Прекарваше много време в събирането и покупката на антики.
And they had a house with a large basement, and she would put these antiques in the basement.
Родителите ми имаха къща с голяма маза и тя ги прибираше в мазата.
And finally her husband said, "We don't have any more room in the basement. You've got to find something else to do with these antiques."
Тогава съпруга и каза, нямаме повече място в мазата, трябва да намерим къде да ги прибираме.
So she decided that maybe she would go into business for herself.
Тогава тя реши, че може би ще започне бизнес самостоятелен.
And try to sell these antiques that she had collected.
И се опита да продаде тези антики, които се събрала.
Now this was kind of interesting because I don't know how we're going to do on translation here, but this was this was kind of interesting because she went out into the countryside and she found what we call a one-room school. It was a school in a rural community. Got it?
Значи, това беше интересно, тъй като тя отиде в провинцията и там намери такова училище, което е в общност с one room community school.
Yeah, you see here it was only one room, which meant
само една стая.
Yeah. So when they taught, the kids from ages 6 to 14 were all in the same classroom.
Значи, такова типа на селските училища, където в един клас се обучават деца от съвсем малка до голяма възраст, различни възрасти.
And of course this building wasn't being used anymore for a school, and she bought this building.
Тази сградата на това училище вече не се използваше по предназначение, това тя е закупи.
And she had it moved to a new shopping area and set up her antique business in this school.
И тогава тя премести своя бизнес с антики в тази сграда, в това училище.
And it really was quite clever and looked very, very nice.
Което беше доста умно и интелигентно и доста добре се получи.
And I was visiting her, and so she says, "Come look at my school."
Аз се посетих и тя каза, ела да виж моето училище.
And before I knew it, she gave me a machine, and I was sanding the floors. I was renewing the floors in this old building.
Тогава тя ми даде една машина и аз изциклих пода на сградата на училище.
So I became quite interested in her business, and I would call her almost every month. I would call her to ask how business was going.
Тогава на мен ми стана много интересно това нейното занимание, бизнес занимание, и всеки месец се обаждах да питам как върви бизнеса.
And she'd say, "Oh, getting better."
Все по-добре става, отговаряше тя.
You know what that means? If it's getting better, it means it's not very good, but it's improving.
Нали знаете какво означава? Да става все по-добре означава, че не е много добре, но пък се подобрява нещата.
And so the first month it was getting better. The second month, getting better still.
Първия месец ставаше добре, втория месец пак така.
She was always very, very positive about this.
И тя през цялото време се изказваше положително.
I think it was about month 9. And she said, "George, this month I made a profit."
Тогава аз се обадих на 9-я месец, когато се обадих на 9-я месец, тя каза, Джордж, вече съм на печалба.
And I says, "Well, congratulations."
Поздравления.
In month 10, I called her and she said, "You know what? I think I'm going to stop this business. I'm going to get out of the business."
Тогава на 10-я месец, когато се обадих, тя каза, знаеш какво? Аз мисля, че ще прекратя с бизнеса, ще се откажа.
And so I don't want to get into the reasons right now why she decided to quit the business.
Няма да се впускам в подробности по отношение на причините, заради които се отказва.
But I want you to think about this business she had, and let's try to understand what her costs were.
По-скоро искам да помислим по отношение на бизнеса, който е имало и най-вече разходите, за разходите по него.
And so I'm not asking you to put a specific price on this, but what were the categories? What were her costs? And I want you to help me out here, and I'll write it on the.
Така, от вас искам да помислите, не да навлизате в подробности, а по-скоро да помислите какви са били нейните разходи, какъв вид са били нейните разходи по отношение на бизнеса на антики.
Аз не разбрах, казвала ли?
Казвала се, да.
What was one of the costs?
Ще напиша на дъската. What kind of
Yeah.
видове разходи прави?
What would she have to pay for?
She paid taxes.
Aha, okay, she paid taxes. That's right. You always have to pay taxes. Thank you, Rich. What else?
I don't know, there is, I cannot say it's costs, but there is a lot of risk costs. You know, like a lot of things you buy, you think it's...
That's good. I really like that in Baldowski.
Да. Разходи за риска, който поема.
Risk? Do you use the same word?
Yes. It's the same.
Risk. Okay, see, my Bulgarian is improving.
So you put risk down?
Risk, please, yeah. We're gonna go back to that because that, I really like that.
The price of the antiques.
Yeah, right, the price of the antiques.
Ну, така, повишила цената с
Something else.
The price of the building.
Yeah, the price of, let's just put rent, instead of the price of the buildings, because that would be kind of like that, yeah.
Альтернативно найем, каза да запишем на дъската.
Okay, do great.
Labor.
Labor. You mean if she hires people?
Yes.
Consultants, no?
Hmm?
The consultants, because most of the things like this depends on the antique. She cannot know everything. She pays for a lot of advisors for it.
Some consultants.
Консултанти по отношение на антиките, при тях едва ли е разбирала детайли. Освен това, разходи, казва тук колежката, разходи за труд, ако е наемала хора. Реклама. Commercial.
Aha, reklama, advertisement.
Distribution.
Aha, distribution. Yeah.
Because it's really risky as well. Like you need to be careful how you're going to deliver this stuff. You can have a lot of costs there. Like if you break something, insurance.
Yeah. Oh, okay, let's put it distribution down, and then number 8 would be, 7 is distribution. It's getting the product into the store, getting the product out of the store, and then some insurance.
Застраховки.
Okay, anything else?
Селори, заплати.
We should have labor. Oh, we don't have labor. Yeah, put number 9 as labor, hiring people.
За наети служители.
Освен, че той е така работи сега.
Ама имаме.
Не е собствено, че тази стока трудно се доставя самата стока, въобще той трябва да намери дилъри и така на тази стока да му достатъчно това по-особена стока, или трябва да има много канали, че да идва в него.
Cost for supplying antiques to your system.
The cost of what?
For supplying.
Oh, yeah, I think we have price of the antiques.
Yes.
Therefore.
The distribution to the seller
Yeah.
and the distribution to the buyer.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Той е писал дистрибуцията от до.
Okay, this might not be a complete list, but it's good enough. All right, so thank you. Now I want to talk about these costs a little bit. So in month 10, as I said, I called her. Now she says she's making a profit, and that's wonderful. But I called her and she said, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Както казах, през 10-тия месец, след като беше ми казала, че реализирала предния месец печала, аз се обадих и тя каза, че ще се отказва.
And I said, if you're making a profit, why would you stop?
И добре, ако аз се отговорих, ако реализираш печала, защо би спряла?
And what do you suppose her answer was?
И какво предполагате, че ми отговори тя?
Anyone want to take a guess?
Поне да е на плюс.
Търси
Поне да е на плюс.
вече She wants to find something new to do.
Yeah, she wants to find something new to do, but actually she really enjoyed what she was doing. She says, but it's not worth my time. I think that I'm only earning about 25 cents per hour.
Не беше това причината. На нея харесваше това, което правя. Обаче каза, то не заслужава моето време. Аз печеля около 25 цента на час.
And many times we make the mistake of not considering a very important cost when we do our own business.
Много пъти ние правим грешка, като не осмисляме много важен разход при самонаемането, когато правим собствен бизнес.
And that cost is the value
Това е
of
стойността
your own time.
на вашето собствено време.
And she had never calculated that as part of her profit or as part of her cost.
Тя никога не беше калкулирала този разход като част от печалбата си.
Now, some of these costs are very explicit. That is, we can measure them precisely.
Повечето от тези разходи са доста ясни. Това означава, че може да ги измерим с точност.
Some of these costs are not so explicit or they're not so precise.
Някои от тях обаче не са така ясни, т.е. не можем да ги измерим с абсолютна точност.
And number 10, the value of your own time is not a precise, explicit cost.
10 номер. Стойността на отделеното ваше време, собствено време, е такъв разход, който не може да бъде измерен.
And number 2, risk is not a precise and explicit cost.
Това се отнася и до номер 2, риска.
But they're very, very real.
Но те са съществени, които ги има.
And your profit as the business owner has to be enough to be able to pay you for the value of your time. And it also has to be enough to pay you for the risk that you're taking.
Вашата печалба трябва да е достатъчна, за да може да плати вложеното от вас в бизнеса време, както и риска, който поемате.
So when you make these decisions to be an entrepreneur or to be a business person, you've got to have a clear understanding of what the risks are and what the value of your time is, because you want to be and you should be paid for taking those risks and for contributing your time.
Когато ставате предприемач, вие трябва да осъзнавате риска, който поемате, времето, което влагате, защото вие така или иначе поемате този риск и влагате това време. И то коства пари.
Now, there's another kind of distinction I'd like to make about these costs.
Искам да направя друг вид разграничение по отношение на големите разходи.
Some of these costs will change as your business increases or as your business decreases.
Някои от тях ще се изменят с изменението на обема на бизнеса като увеличение или като намаление.
For example, if you're selling more antiques, then you're going to have to buy more antiques to replace them, and you would expect that the cost or the price of the antiques would increase as your business expands.
Така, например, ако продавате повече антики, ще се наложи да ги заместите с по-голямо количество закупени такива, което означава, че разхода за тяхното придобиване ще се промени с разрастването на вашия бизнес.
If you look at labor, you're going to hire more people. As your business expands, you'll hire fewer people or maybe no people at all as your business decreases.
Ако ви използвате служители, наемни работници, тогава вие ще трябва да наемате все повече хора с разрастването на своя бизнес и съответно, респективно, ще ви бъдат нужни по-малко хора или пък дори никакви, ако бизнеса спада. развива зле.
The rent you pay for the building, you must pay whether you sell a lot or whether you sell a little. So you see, this kind of cost doesn't change as you increase or decrease the amount of business that you're doing.
От друга страна, разхода за наем за сградата, в която се помещава съответния бизнес, няма да се променя с времето, независимо оспада или разхода на отдела на дейността.
And so Rich has a second consideration that we're making, and he has two there, and I'm not going to look at what he's writing, but I'll bet you that he's going to write fixed, that is costs that don't change as the amount of business you do, compared to variable, that is costs that change or vary as your business improves, increases or decreases. Did I give him too much?
No.
You got that.
They should give examples of fixed costs and variable.
Yeah, but we can do that. What would be a fixed cost if you looked at it?
Кажете кои според вас са постоянните разходи и кои са променливите от тези на дъската.
Rent, insurance, depends on the insurance. If you are insurance could be fixed, depends. Labor depends, because if they're your sellers, they could be somehow fixed. The labor.
Yeah, I think I might disagree a little bit on
Грешката
the
казва, че
labor.
според нея застраховката е постоянен разход, независим, докато по отношение на разхода за труд зависи, може да бъде постоянен и променен.
But insurance would be fixed.
Но застраховката ще бъде постоянен.
Rent would be fixed.
Найемът ще бъде постоянен.
And maybe even the value of your time might be fixed.
Вложеното от предприемача от вас време също ще бъде постоянен разход.
Застраховката защо е постоянно? При положение, че
And why is the insurance costs fixed and not variable?
Excuse me. It might change. It might change as the amount of business you did. It might change.
Може да се промени нормално с времето.
But she might be paying insurance to protect her against certain events, and whether she did a lot of business or a little business, that insurance cost wouldn't change.
Да, този разход е постоянен в смисъл, че застраховката се плаща за определени застрахователни събития и не е свързано с увеличението или намалението на отдела на дейността или бизнеса.
няма понятие, политика характерно, но точно това, че смисъл всеки отделен всеки продукт, отделно се плаща гаранция, особено нали, зависимо от колко е стар, колко е старен, нали, с някаква така, защото те отделни допълнително са такива.
The colleague says that by guarantees is reasonable, they are characterized with paying insurance for each one piece.
Aha.
And it is different, yes.
In that case, it would be a variable cost, certainly.
В този случай наистина ще бъде променен разход.
Okay, so now, by the way, I went month 1, month 2, month 3, and finally month 9, and that seems like, you know, we finally conceived of this thing called profit after 9 months. And then in month 10, she said, I think I'm going to quit. And by the time month 12 was finished, she was totally out of it. She totally quit her business.
След цялата си история, както разказах, за месеците, за 9-я, за 10-я, 12-я месец, тя не кипира бизнеса.
Now,
Да не разказвам.
one reason I mention this is because she was paying rent for the use of the space in the center, not necessarily for her building, but she had a 1-year lease or a 1-year rental agreement for that space in the shopping center.
Тя имаше едногодишно споразумение за наем за това търговското магазина, търговското място и тя си плащаше найма една година.
And the rent was a fixed cost, but after 1 year, she wouldn't have to pay the cost if she quit the business.
В такъв смисъл, че найма беше постоянен разход, но след една година тя не трябваше да плаща вече.
Okay, we're going to do a little exercise here,
Ще направим упражнение,
which I think will build a bit on this story that I told you of my sister. And Rich has in his hand
Рич държи
4 laundry bags.
4 турки за пране.
And these you can't imagine where we found these, but we have these 4 bags,
Няма да ви казвам къде сме ги взели, обаче има.
and each one contains a number of different items,
Много неща.
but they all contain the same type of items.
Обаче са едни същи от четирите.
It's a resource, a set of resources. Everybody has the same resources.
Всички имат еднакви ресурси в турбичките.
So instead of looking at antiques and consultants and so on, we have in this bag resources that you can use to make a product.
Тук имаме ресурси от турбата, с които може да направите продукт.
And
Да произведете.
is that the price list?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
Раздава ли списък с нещата от турбата, кой колко струва, от съм гледала предварително.
And so this page gives you a list of your resources. Now, what I'd like you to do is, I'd like you to form, here, I got these 3, okay. The 3 of you,
Внимавайте как сте в отбори.
right here,
Тримата.
3 of you, and the 3 of you. Excellent. Okay.
Всички разбраха ли?
4 groups of size 3.
Here's
Трима по трима сте в отбор, сега ще кажа какво ще правите.
Here's your resources.
За всеки трима има
You're going to work with them, so I'm going to turn around. Here's your resources. Here are your resources.
okay, guys. Now,
Be careful about how you use these. You got to pay for them if you use them.
you have
Внимавайте как използвате, каза Рич, защото трябва да плащате за това.
you can use any of these materials, but there's a limit.
Може да използвате всеки от тези материали.
You have to get this right. You may spend $5 US. $5 on your resources.
Можете да изхарчите $5 до $5 за вашите материали.
And the price list for these materials is right here in front of you.
Да. А пък ценовата листа за съответните материали е пред вас.
And you might need some help because these are in English. You might not recognize the names, but we'll help you understand what these items are. If you were to use all of these items, it would be more than $5.
Имайте предвид, че ако използвате всичко от турбата, всичко от този списък, сумата ще надхвърли $5.
You may only spend $5. Each group makes its own product. You're just going to make one product, and then you're going to present it to the class, your product that you make, and you're going to convince them that this is that it's worth buying. Okay?
Значи всяка група трябва да произведе един продукт, после ще го представи пред целия клас и да ги убедите, че трябва да го купят. И да ни до $5.
Okay, important.
Но може да използвате всичко, защото сбора от тия...
Important, you are,
0,0.
important, you are creating what we would call a prototype for your product.
Прототип.
Okay? So we're going to have four products created. Each group is going to create a product.
Той казва, че сте 4 групи, 4 продукта искат.
And when you try to sell your product to the rest of the group, to the rest of the class, we're going to fix the price at $5 for your prototype.
Да. Когато тръгнете да продавате вашия прототип на останалите от класа, останалите групи, ние фиксираме цената, вие фиксираме, т.е. на $5.
So if you spend more than $5,
така че ако използвате продукти за материали за повече от $5, ще бъдете...
you've lost money.
Да.
If you spend less than $5,
Обаче от друга страна, ако използвате за по-малко от $5, ще бъдете на...
then you will make money if people buy your product.
Тогава ще бъдете на печалба, като продадете продукта. Значи идеята е, че $5 трябва да бъде цената. И ви да се прецените дали ще направите печалба или загуба.
Okay, one more. There are two things that you must pay for, two resources you must use.
Има две неща от този списък, които трябва да използвате.
You will be charged 75 cents
Ще бъдете таксувани 75 цента
for the use of your workspace.
за използването на работното си място.
No negotiations, no exceptions, you must pay for your
Без
workspace.
преговори и изключения. Ви трябва да се платите найем.
You also must pay for the labor.
Задължително трябва да платите за труда.
Each group has 3 people.
But we're three of us to make one team, which are...
Times 25 cents will be 75 cents for each group for labor.
За труда всеки човек, във всяка група от 3 души всеки.
No negotiations and no exceptions.
Yeah, but we just spoke about our...
I'm going to hand out a list for you. It's important that you keep accurate track of your costs. Right?
Okay, guys, pet will here.
No.
No, not pet. Pet nice.
So keep track of your costs. You've got to produce something that other people want to buy.
$15 minutes.
Имате 15 минути.
А може ли да го решим?
Освен и давай така и към багаж.
С двойните те ще го заведем.
После и това да го всичката нова играчка.
Oh, 25 cents. That's a bargain. No,
Да, да. Хочеш да си ги помня.
Или пък го направи някакъв по-гъв и в по-добър.
Ако използваш нашите речици, сега се плаща. Трябва така да бъдечим.
Не, нещо по-малко. Видим и така. Капачен.
Да ви плавате вътре да има самолета си играеш сам и тогава ще много... Значи отдолете долу...
We started courses. They got more and more involved and finally
Макар че се отвори, значи дръжката трябва да се отваря.
As you're finishing and totaling up the costs, think about what your promotion is going to be like for the class. You're going to promote your product.
All right. I think, have you listed your costs? Oh, we've got the cost, okay. I think everyone has listed their costs, yes? Okay. We have 4 products. All of you know how much these products cost. This is a prototype, and you now have the opportunity to present this product to the rest of the group, and they will make a decision about which product they wish to buy. By the way, you may only buy one product.
Сега имате възможността да представите вашия продукт пред останалите групи и съответно какъв продукт вие искате да купите.
And in spite of the fact that you might think you have the best product in your group, and I'm sure you do, you may not buy your own product. You must buy from one of the other groups.
Може да мислите, че вашия продукт е най-добрият, нямате право да си собствения. Трябва да видите някакви продукти на другите групи. И освен това да направите само един продукт.
Okay? They have $5. All right. We're ready. We're ready for the presentation. I'm ready for the presentations. I hope you're ready for the presentation. Is there someone who would like to go first? I need a volunteer for who will go first. Oh, thank you. Good. So,
Pay attention, you're going to decide what you're going to spend your $5 on.
бъде.
Аз мисля, да залетиме да е готвим от това да изглежда.
Should I speak in English or in Bulgarian?
In Bulgarian, please.
Добре, окей. Това искаш ли ти да го обясниш на български? Аз ще го обясня.
Gary, така ли?
Аз искам ти да обясня.
Да.
Така, нашия продукт е насочен към марката на компании, на
Нашия таргет са авиокомпаниите, основно продукта е разработен за бизнес класа в самолетите.
не само за бизнес клас, много хора имат проблем с, когато се качат на самолет, имат различни страхове. От летене, турбуленцията, искат да се успокоят. Също така, много често те биват диагнозни от други хора, които в самолета имат да се съобразяват. Това е чай, който се поднася с две чашки. Едното е дозатор. Тоест, чай трябва да се приготви точно в тази чашка. Ще те го казвам. Трябва да се приготви в тази чашка, прозрачно е пликчето, защото се вижда марката на чая и да се види също така, че е чай, да се мисля, че е някакъв опиум. Общо след това това е на билкова основа и към него всеки един от хората всеки един получава информация, какво е всъщност, за какво помага, какъв е чая и сме го нарекли Airbrain Stress Relief. Тоест, че всяка една компания за намаляване на стреса, всеки една от чудесите и стоялите е обучен как да се използва. И този начин, защото много хора казват, добре, можеш винаги да дадеш много уиски. Обаче много хора не пият алкохол. Има религиозни причини, просто аз също не пия алкохол и не искам да пия уиски. Затова много хора смятат, че натуралният начин е най-важен. И общата себестойност е 2,90.
А може ли по-отделно да разкажете, защото всякаш са
Да. Така. Значи, ние сме 3 човека, 2,90. Найма, т.е. на нашата природа е 0,75. Тук 3 човека до 0,75. Тази брошура е 0,25.
0,50. Използване маркета. Или да.
Не, аз съм сметна еднаква. Аз ще те питам, да кажа, че повече. Защото да им кажа, че... Така, момент. Така, листа е 0,25. Това е Heavy Covered Paper. 0,25. След това чая е 0,50. Да, съм го написал, обаче просто по-долу съм го написал. След това макия е 0,25 и 2 чашки 0,25 са 50 и още 2,90.
И чай.
То е 0,05. Също е сложно.
Всичко сме толкова.
They don't believe me.
Okay.
And basically we use 2 cups because one of them should be for trash. Here is enjoy the flight because it's a good to have a note.
Absolutely.
And this is a prototype, but the flyer should be really like why to use, how to use. But the cabin crew, they know how to use it anyway.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. You've seen one product now. You have an opportunity to buy it. You don't have to make this decision right now. But the product will cost $5. All the products will cost $5.
Вече е налице един продукт, можете да го закупите за $5. Не е
And so,
Но цената просто е $5.
so now I need the second group to volunteer, and thank you so much for volunteering.
Имам нужда от втората група, доброволец. Ви много благодаря.
Ние сме произвели един продукт, който може да се използва дългосрочно от различни възрасти и има различни предназначения. Така че е много функционален.
Много е функционален.
И първото му предназначение е, когато се роди малкото дете, да можем да послужи като залагалка, когато в първите месеци имаме нужда от малко спокойствие.
Зато голямо спокойствие ще
И имаме един въпрос. Как пластмаса се използва дългосрочно?
Чакай да се изкаже тогава тази въпрос.
Гранкалката може да се използва от 0 години възраст на детето до 7-8 годишна възраст, докато тръгне в детската на училище. Като когато детето отиде в детската градина, може да послужи като музикален инструмент, те използват такива инструменти.
No, right. Very. So many uses. Okay, thank you. $5. No, don't. Not necessarily. Okay.
Колко ви е себестойността?
$3. Можем да ги кажем.
$3.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The price will be $5. The price you pay will be $5. The amount that it costs you to make it, you don't have to reveal. You don't have to tell anybody. If you want to tell someone, you can, but it's really not important. This gives me an opportunity to say that last month I became a grandfather one more time. And she's the cutest little thing, and I think that she would really enjoy something like this for a very long time. Okay. Group 3. Thank you.
It's not in your lessons, but these are the $5 students here. $5.
Ние сме еликсир Олде. Това е прототип, продукт, който представя това, което ние произвеждаме. Ние произвеждаме билки. Които предлагаме на големи и малки блогери.
Which we supply to big and small Негативс.
Stores.
Спа центрове.
Спа център.
Други центрове за здраве, за рекреативни
Other health centers, recreative, beauty,
въобще търговски вериги, където
commercial stores, big.
нашето слоган.
Our logo
Е елексиран на живота. Yes, и цвет. Стойността на нашия продукт няма ли?
Да.
Добре, няма. Това струва 5 долара.
Are there any questions?
Вътре съдържанието.
Това е.
Вътре съдържанието за какво помага и за какво не.
It's written of which kind of this.
What the herb is for.
What the ingredients.
И тук са нашите данни. Елексировите, град, Словадия, там го произвеждаме.
Here is the name of the enterprise, the city, and so on.
Ви направо бизнес план.
Does it help grow hair?
Yes, we have some. Not this one. This is not a. We have
Okay, all right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Group 4.
Клиенти, днес имате една уникална възможност.
You get an opportunity, unique opportunity. Okay.
Можете да си купите един изцяло ръчно изработен екопродукт, който може да ви влезе в широка употреба. Only today you have the chance to buy eco-friendly, 100% handmade product, which has a very wide area of use. We call this product a multifunctional organizer. Наричаме го multifunctional organizer. And you can use it for a lot of things. You can store anything, literally anything that comes into your mind. I mean such small little items which you are looking for all the time. Тук може да вкарате абсолютно всичко, за което се сещате, особено тези мънички нещица, които търсите по бюрото си и никога не може да намерите, когато ви трябва. For example, you can use it for your pens, pencils, and things like that.
That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Може да използвате за уникални добра неща on your desk, когато го използвате на бюрото. Ако го използвате пред козметичното огледало по туалетката, in more cosmetic directed yes, for beauty purposes, you can store your hair. You can also use it for, I don't have here to show you how you can use it at the table for spices. You can put the salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and anything you use on your table. Here also.
За солче вече
And it is not only directed to individual customers, не е само за индивидуални клиенти. Our business clients here can use it for different purposes. Нашите три екипа бизнес клиенти, които имаме тук в залата, могат да го използват за различни дейности. To our team number 3, we can offer it for storing the little things they need for their production. Not some order in their office. To our team number 2, for the same purpose, especially for the small little paper clips inside. Then they will know where all the paper clips they want to look for. Няма да се чуете къде са ги. Това искаме и ще се знаете къде са. Our team number 1 can also use this product into their production, putting all the things they need to put the small little things needed for their production process. Може да си ставите тези неща, които трябва за производството, разни дърволики отново този продукт. And we have a special offer for them. We can offer them a strategic alliance we can form. This can be used as a disposable, let's say, nuts and crackers holder in the plate. So we can form an alliance and together help each other. And special opportunity. И днес е вашия специален шанс. Special opportunity for today is that you can buy this special Eco 100% handmade product. Този 100% ръчно изработен еко продукт for only $5. Thank you very much.
All right.
This is for
What she forgot is that your students can use it to imitate you when you talk too much. Excellent.
She said that you can use it to make fun to entertain your grandchildren.
Yeah, of course, of course. All right, now here's what we're going to do. We've got 4 products, and each one of you has $5. Rich just showed you the dollars. We just didn't get
Всеки един
them
от вас има $5.
cut out. So each one of you has a $5 bill, and you can use that to purchase one of these products. The product may not be a product made by your own group.
Да, може да използвате тези банкноти, за да закупите всеки един продукт, но той не може да бъде този на вашата група.
Okay. So group 1 has the relief mechanism for airplane rides, for nervous airplane travelers.
Първа група има някакъв механизъм за
Group 2 has a baby rattler that morphs into different uses and is a lifetime product.
Има бебешка дънкарка, която може да се използва цял живот за най-различни работи.
Group 3 has a holder here with herbs that's the elixir of life.
Трета група има чашка с билки, която се нарича еликсир на живота.
And group 4 has a multifunction organizer, holder, toy. All right, so now you should know which one that you want to buy. And incidentally, if you were to do this in the classroom, each one of you would have $5. You would have it in your hand, and you would bring it over to the group that you wanted to do business with, all right? We don't have to do it, we don't have to do it that way. I would like to know, we can do it a little more quickly. How many people are going to buy the anti-anxiety product for air travelers? Group 1.
Кой ще купи продукта? Колко хора ще купят продукта на първа група? Да дигнат ръка.
Please raise your hand if you want to buy that product. You can't buy your own product.
Без хората от първата група. От останалите.
Okay, that didn't sell real well. Yeah. Group 2. How many people buy the product from group 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. Make a note. 4. You sold 4 of these. 5.
Oh, wait.
One more time. Group 2. You may only buy one product, and so no. Each member of the team may buy a product. It's not the team. So
May or must?
May, of course may.
may, I guess if you don't want to buy anything, you don't have to. Right. Okay. How many people choose to buy the product from group 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Group 3. I'm not sure these are all legal herbs, but it's a package of herbs that are of great interest. Whoa. I thought it was a purse. A mug. Okay. All right. How many people?
But I didn't get the point, it's gonna make me younger, or just make me healthier?
Younger, healthier,
Okay, then I get it.
richer, taller.
Okay. How many herb buyers? 1, 2. Elixir of life. Yeah. 3. 3. And finally, we have the organizer. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people buy the organizer.
But actually it's really subjective, because the organizer, because it's really less expensive, like to make it.
Yeah.
Because it's made of paper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
when you don't use it as a prototype, it will be way more expensive. And then the price will rise so much more. Because
Yeah.
the
The cost.
organizer,
Yeah. Yeah.
Our price, I'm not sure will rise. I think
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4. You all know how many products you sold, right? Okay. Now you must calculate using the handouts. Do they have them? Should be there, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay, now we're going to calculate the profits.
Сега отворете на тази таблица, която ви показва, трябва да изчислите печалбата си.
So remember,
Всеки трябва да си помни значи на колко човека е добавили.
Page number 7.
so that's the quantity that you're selling.
Седма.
You can calculate revenues by taking that quantity times $5.
Печалба на единица.
Okay. Let's make sure we get this right though. Because we want them to calculate their total profits. So is this, what is this? Total revenue, okay.
This is the price multiplied by the quantity
Excellent.
sold and total revenue.
Right. This is total cost
Total cost,
and total profits.
total profits,
Good.
or loss.
Yeah, excellent.
Значи там имате един ред, който каза лошото количество. При общо производство. Защото колко са броя за продажето? Да. Те да са на дъската. Да. 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 Поединични неща. Да, това е общо.
Make sure that Okay, what were the total profits here? Mary? $3.75. That's pretty well done. What was your loss?
I think we
How many
sold
did you
one,
sell?
or I'm not sure. I think he wanted to buy one.
Five.
Or he wanted to buy one.
What was your loss?
It's
$2.90? Five times 3 is 50. How much? Yes. Yes. What was your cost of making it? What was your profit? 13. All right. What was your profit?
No, I'm fine. So, I understand.
$3.50. Yeah. You guys didn't earn a profit, did you?
We lost.
Yeah.
She's still negotiating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think they made cartel, you know?
let's finish this up. We had one group that didn't sell any products, so of course they incurred a loss.
Имаме една група, която ни продаде непреден продукт.
And
Те са на загуба.
I think that they probably don't believe that you've made the right decision, but at least at this point in time, they incurred a loss.
Мисля си, че те си мислят, че те не взети правилното решение, но това за да поставим.
This
No,
group,
it's not about their decision, it's about if it's practical in your real life or not. Right?
Те започват да спорят.
how many did you sell? 3, 5, and 6. No, 4. 3, 4, and 5 products. You sold 3 products, and you earned $3.50. Or excuse me, your total profits were $3.75. Okay. So per unit, you had $1.25 profit. Yeah. All right.
Значи за период на единица имате 1,25.
This group sold 4 units. No, 5 units. This group sold 5 units. It cost them $3 each.
Пет са себестойност $3 всяко.
And their profits were $10.
И реализираха още печалба на $10.
They sold more product than anybody else in this group, in this room.
Те продадаха повече продукти, от който да било в тази стая.
This group sold 4 products.
Тази група продаде 4 продукта.
And their their profit was 13.
И тяхната печалба е $13.
So you're right, it didn't cost them as much to make their product.
Така че не се прави наистина разход за производство.
But they still ended up, I'm not sure how you earned $13 in profit when you sold 4 products.
Съм сигурен, че
Each
Yeah.
product,
Mm-hmm.
the cost.
Yes.
So for 4 products, the costs are $7, and from the total 20, I will take 7.
Okay, well,
It's $3.25 product.
Mhm.
The profit.
okay. So, congratulations to you. You had one of the least expensive products that you sold for it. Okay, I'm just going to do a little summary. 1.
Ще направя обобщение.
We've got we've got different types of costs. We have variable cost and fixed cost.
Промени постоянни.
Both are important,
И двата вида са важни,
but they affect your decision making differently.
но те оказват различно влияние върху вземането на стопански решения.
My sister waited a whole year before she quit her business.
На сестра ми коства цяла година преди да излезе от бизнеса.
But one reason was because she had fixed costs for a whole year.
Но една от причините беше това, че имаше постоянни разходи за цяла година.
And she felt she still might have opportunities for a profit, but once she had to renew that cost, make another contract for another year, she said, that's it, I'm not going to do it.
И тя може да реализира печалба, обаче когато стигна до решението, че трябва да поднови своя наемен договор за още една година, т.е. да плати постоянните разходи, тя се отказа.
The other distinction that we can make in cost is what we call explicit, specific, precise cost.
Другото ограничение, другото, което искам да подчертая, това, което наричаме излишен, прецизно изчислим разход.
By the way, these are the costs that accountants love.
Това е разходи, които счетоводителите обичат.
Because they can list them precisely in the accountants.
Защото те могат прецизно да ги счетоводят в счетоводните книги.
More broad-minded economists
по-широко скроените икономисти
also consider implicit costs.
имат предвид, ще взимат под внимание и не толкова прецизно изчислими да установими разходи.
Not only the value of my sister's time in her business, but also the risk that you're taking, which is a cost of doing business. You want to receive some reward for
Какъвто е,
this
например,
implicit cost.
разхода за риска, който поемаш като правиш някакъв бизнес и да се участваш в това.
Okay, well, guys, thank you for your participation in this.
Благодаря ви.
We're going to leave the rest of the session for Rich. And we're going to end. We're not going to take a break right now. We're going to spend 30 minutes longer,
Да.
and then we're finished. All right? Richard.
Ричард, започваме още 30 минути.
So about this lesson, if you use this with your students, one of the things that make this attractive to use with your students is you can develop, we've given you the lesson, but you can develop your own resource price list. So the resource price list that's in the lesson includes golf tee. You know golf tee? Golf tee, the thing you put a golf ball on? Okay.
Това нещо прето, даже колко топено на
Paper plate, it includes coffee can, egg carton, right? All of these things are pretty easy to collect on your own. They're not worth a lot. You don't have to go buy them. You have these supplies on hand. And
Може да използвате и колите от сейца, ще неща, които не купувате, не плащате, които винаги ви остават.
so it's, for you as a teacher, it's not real costly to do this activity because you can assemble the resource kits.
Така че за вас като учители това няма да представлява разход.
You saw in the resource kits you had Air France napkins and cups. We picked them up when we were traveling. But even with that, what's really special about this activity is think about how different each of your products were. There's some really great teachable moments for you as a teacher. So for example, the baby rattle required paper to be cut. Paper required. But when they were reminded that to use the scissors was going to take 75 cents, they became innovative about a different way to cut the paper. And that idea of really being that's the resourcefulness that we're talking about. That's that entrepreneurial instinct about how to figure out how to do something in a different way. That's a nice lesson for students. So one of the reasons why people want to be entrepreneurs is that they want to get rich. Yeah? That's one of the reasons, not the only one, right? One of the reasons. People want to be able to... Yeah? Okay. So I'm giving you each 3 pieces of paper. Everybody gets 3. So on one piece of paper, T will stand for true. Big letter, big letter. So I can see it. Here, I'll put it. Make it look like that.
The rest is
Big.
В целия си, колкото може по-голямо. И буквата F на друг лист.
Next piece of paper, F. What do you think that stands for? Right. Next piece of paper, M. Maybe one more piece of paper, please. So I'm going to read you Okay, so I'm going to read a set of statements. And you have to decide, I better wait for the translation. Okay? Okay, I'm going to read a set of statements.
Ние ще ви прочета няколко твърдения.
You have to decide whether each one is true or false.
Вие трябва да решите дали всяка една от тях е вярна или не е вярна.
So we're going to play a game.
What about M?
Така че ще
We'll get there.
изиграем тази игра.
So, if I read the statement and you think you know the answer, you really know the answer, so you think it's true, and you're sure of this, you may want to also hold up the M card. Because the M card is going to stand for millionaire card, right? And what that means is, you're... I'm sorry.
Когато аз ви прочета това твърдение, ако вие наистина сте уверени, наистина вярвате, че отговора го знаете, т.е. дали е вярно или не е вярно, то тогава може да вдигнете картата M. Това M означава милионер.
That means that you get to double the points for that question.
Това означава, че ще може да получите двойно повече точки.
double the benefits and double the losses.
Yes. So, if you get it correct, and you don't hold up the M,
Ако отговорът ви е верен, но не сте вдигнали картата M,
then it's plus 5 points.
ще спечелите само 5 точки.
You earn 5 points. Yes? If you get it incorrect, and you don't hold up the M,
Ако сте сгрешили и не сте вдигнали картата M,
you lose 5 points, minus 5.
ще загубите 5 точки.
Okay? If you get it correct and hold up the M,
Ако сте правилно избрали отговора да ви е вярно или невярно и в същото време държите картата M, то тогава
plus 10 points.
ще спечелите 10 точки.
If you get it incorrect and hold up the M,
Но ако отговорът ви е грешен и имате дигната картата M,
minus 10.
то тогава ще загубите 10 точки.
Understand? Okay? You can't use the M more than 5 times.
Не може да използвате картата M повече от 5 пъти.
Understand? Only 5 times. You don't have to use it at all.
Do you want to know? Keeping score or anything? Maybe keeping an eye on it. Here. Oh, reading cards.
Let's give it a lesson.
Just below your.
on that separate sheet of paper,
На отделен лист
you'll keep your score.
записвайте точките, които сте спечелили и загубили.
And we'll see who the winner is.
И след това ще видим кой е победителя. Ще видим най-накрая, като ги прочетем, ще видим кой.
I don't think the last fellow, but maybe 15. Maybe 15? Yes, I haven't decided that. Okay, are you ready?
Готови ли сте?
True or false, and possibly millionaire. You have to answer true, false, and possibly millionaire. Let them know.
Вие може да използвате в момента картите. Вярно, грешно или милионер.
Okay? I'm going to read you the statement, and then on the count of 3,
Сега ще ви прочетем твърдението.
I'll ask you to hold this up like this. No looking at other people.
И когато преброим до 3, вие ще трябва да дигнете карта.
Okay? True or false? Most millionaires are college graduates.
Повечето милионери са завършили колеж.
Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you have to hold up a true or false though. See, this is.
Значи тези, които са сигурни в отговора и дигат картата М, трябва да дигнат и другата карта, която му казва да е вярно или грешно твърдение.
Не е ли да се отбележи?
Okay. You understand? That's why we have to translate.
Да, F за false, т.е. не е вярно. Т за true, т.е. вярно.
Okay? So we've got false and millionaire, false, false. What are you holding? Okay, false. Okay, the answer is true. So if you held up false, -5.
But according to which
Just hold on.
твърдението е вярно. Така че ако сте държали ръката за картата F, минус 5 точки. Ако сте държали картите M и F, минус 10 точки. Ако сте държали картата вярна, т.е. Т, плюс 5 точки. Ако сте държали картата M и Т, то тогава плюс 10 точки.
Oh, you did. Minus the 4 hours. No. Wait. Oh, you told about the -10. Okay. It's true. Four of 5 millionaires are college graduates. Four out of every 5. 80% of millionaires are college graduates.
Това не е случай. Това е обяснението на това твърдение. Вярно е, че 4 от 5 милионера са завършили колеж.
18% have master's degrees.
18% имат магистърска степен.
8% have law degrees.
8% са завършили право.
6% have medical degrees.
6% са завършили медицина.
And 6% are PhDs.
И 6% са доктори.
Education matters, right? That's what that's about. When I'm done, I'll tell you where this all comes from. Wonderful. Okay? Number 2.
Второто твърдение е
True, false, or true or false, and maybe a millionaire.
вярно или грешно и може би с картата за милионер.
Most millionaires work fewer than 40 hours per week.
Повечето милионери работят по-малко от 40 часа на седмица.
That is, false is the answer. All got it right.
Всички имате верен отговор.
A lot of double ups.
Така че тези, които са само с картата F, плюс 5 точки, тези, които са с M плюс F, плюс 10.
Yes, you know, we're talking about the prices of Listen, about 2/3, 66%, work between 45 and 55 hours per week.
Само 19 от всички милионери са получили някакъв доход или каквото и да е богатство от тръстов фонд или наследство. По-малко 10% от милионерите са наследили 10 или повече процент от своето богатство.
Yeah, no, it's from the UK. So remember that characteristic of entrepreneurs being hardworking? Oh, we weren't supposed to. Did you do the number of the seat? Did she tell you the answer?
She screwed it up.
So if I say, did you tell me the answer on this one? The one I just did? They all got it right. Oh. Well, so no, we'll have fun with it. So more than half of all millionaires never inherited money. True or false? More than half of all millionaires never inherited money.
More than 50%.
Повече от половината от всички милионери никога не са наследявали пари. Тоест, въпреки че ви прочетох обяснението предварително, той иска да направим и това твърдение.
Well, y'all got it right, except for him, he didn't listen.
Сега, тези казвате, означава, че никой от тях не бе слушал.
That's true. And you read this already?
Не е вярно.
You read that already? Yeah. The answer? Okay.
Така че вече знаете обяснението, с изключение на тези двама, са да прочете ли още веднъж на тях? МТ.
I'm going to switch to Okay. Next question. Most millionaires drive expensive new cars. True or false?
Повечето милионери карат скъпи нови коли. Така че другите карти за опит.
True or false?
Вярно или грешно?
False. True millionaire. True, false. The answer is false.
Отговорът е, че не е вярно, т.е. че като са дигнали картата F, печелят 5 точки, тези, които са били с M и F едновременно плюс 10 точки, всички останали знаете. Минус 5 или минус 10.
Are you keeping total? How are you doing here? You can keep a running total if you want. We'll learn what total later.
Next sentence.
Okay. Most millionaires work in glamorous jobs such as sports, entertainment, or high tech.
Повечето милионери имат страхотна работа, като например спорт, развлечения или високи технологии.
True or false?
Вярно или грешно?
False.
False, so we double up.
So just read of that explanation. Most millionaires work in
Не е вярно. Повечето милионери работят в обичайна индустрия с обикновени работни места. Те се благодяват, защото добре използват възможностите на пазара.
Next question. True or false? Most millionaires work for very large public companies.
Повечето милионери работят в много големи публични компании. Вярно или грешно?
На капиталовите пазари, на големите фондове.
На борсите, да.
На борсите, които са регистрирани.
Защото там някакво обществено.
Не обществена, публична. Какво има предвид? Тя не има предвид това нормалното понятие. Would you explain public companies?
Yeah, so public companies, in my country, they would be really big companies like Apple, Microsoft. They would be motor companies, General Motors, Ford Motor Company, IBM, very large companies.
Тази, чиято акции са търгуват.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Те са големите. На Нью-Йоркската, на Франкфуртската, на големите борси.
Готови ли сте само
Да видите листата на...
Okay? So you have your answers. Some of you changed. The answer is false. There's the.
Около 3 от 4 милионера са самоосигуряващи се и считат себе си за предприемачи. Повечето от останалите са професионалисти като лекари, счетоводители и юристи.
Right? So 3 out of 4 millionaires consider themselves to be entrepreneurs, and they're largely self-employed. Right? They've created their own opportunities.
Just
Те са самоосигуряващи, не е самоосигуряващи, не е правилно преведено. Това означава self-employed е самонаети. Тоест, по наше търговско законодателство кореспондира на едноличния търговец. А останалата част, тук се има предвид от отговора, лекари, счетоводители и адвокати, са хора с свободна професия, респективно по нашия закон. Тук са непреводими понятията, нали? Но това означава.
Какъв беше въпрос на
Повечето милионери работят в много големи публични компании.
Отговора, т.е. искам да ви да чуете.
Не има въпрос.
Следващия.
You know, it's interesting in the United States, and I would think it's probably true in Bulgaria too, but I'm not sure. But most of the jobs, most of the new jobs in the United States are created by small businesses. They're not created by the big business. The power of the economy, the vitality of the economy comes from smaller businesses, not big ones.
Next question. How we doing? Many poor people become millionaires by winning the lottery.
Много бедни хора стават милионери, като спечелят от лотарията.
That's true. No.
Actually, it's true. There are a lot of people that are winning from the lottery. Not in Bulgaria. I'm not saying in Bulgaria.
Okay.
What? Define me.
Just, I will. True or false? Okay. So the answer is false. Few people get rich by luck.
Малко хора стават богати от късмета си.
If you play the lottery in the U.S., the chances of winning are worse than 1 in 12 million.
Ако играете на лотария, шансът за печалба е по-малък от 1 на 12 милиона.
So the average person who plays the lottery every day would have to live about 33,000 years to win.
Средностатистическият човек, който играе на лотария всеки ден, ще трябва да живее 33 000 години, за да спечели веднъж.
In contrast, you have a 1 in 1.9 million chance of being struck by lightning.
За сравнение, шансът ви да ви удари светкавица е 1 на 1,9 милиона.
How many people do you know have been struck by lightning?
Колко хора познавате, които са ударени на светкавица?
Actually, one.
Many? Okay, well, many fewer win the lottery. Okay, next question, true or false? A college graduate earns almost double the annual income of a high school graduate.
Човек завършил колеж печели два пъти колкото годишния доход на човек завършил гимназия.
Last question.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Yeah.
Завършилите колеж печели два пъти повече от тези, които завършил
Okay, good,
гимназия.
good, good.
Вярно или грешно?
True. Okay, so the answer is true. True.
Отговорът е вярно.
I don't know if you want to give those numbers to explain that to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Отговорът е, че е вярно. В последните години типичният човек завършил колеж печели средна заплата от $53,000, почти двойно на заплатата, която получава завършилият гимназия $32,000. Хора с професионално образование печелят средно $79,000 или приблизително 240% повече от типичния завършил гимназия. Обикновен работник завършил гимназия печели $23,000. Статистическите данни са за 2009 година на Бюрото по труда. Щатите са.
Okay, last question.
Последен въпрос.
Millionaires tend to avoid the stock market.
Въпрос е последния. Тоест, твърдението е следното. Милионерите са склонни да избягват фондовата борса. Вярно или грешно? Какъв е вашият отговор?
What do we got? We're waiting. False. False. There's a big one.
Милионерите знаят, че в дългосрочен план от 1926 година и включва голямата депресия, фондовият индекс на стандарт Bourse 500 се увеличил с около 10%. Сложната годишна лихва на възвръщаемост повишава възвръщаемостта на повечето други инвестиции. Разбира се, има риск. Фондовата борса има години на спад и няма гаранция за 10% възвръщаемост в бъдещето, особено в краткосрочен план. За разлика от тях, дългосрочната възвръщаемост на безрисковите държавни ценни книжа в щатите за същия период варира от 5 до 6%. Друг пример за това е, че $1 е инвестиран в стандарт Poor's 500 през 2027 година струва около $3 към края на 2007 година. $1 инвестиран в дългосрочни държавни облигации през същия период струва около $76 на 31 декември 2007 година. За нови инвеститори вероятно се е струвало да поемат допълнителен риск, като купуват акции.
So, total up what your results are. You have a total already? You can keep track of it? Minus 10? Positive 10? Negative 10? 15? No, so far that's the highest. Can anybody beat 15?
Yes.
45? All right. She knows how to become a millionaire. 35. Okay, so where that information comes from is there's a famous book in the United States called The Millionaire Next Door. Yeah, got it. So the author went around to talk to people who have been very successful. And he found the common characteristics of what these millionaires were like. And he titled the book The Millionaire Next Door because the point was there were a lot of people who were millionaires that you didn't think were that. So you look at your neighbor and you think to yourself that they're nothing different than you are.
Ако погледнете себе си, няма да намерите особена разлика с вас самите.
They drive a normal car.
Те карат нормални коли.
They work hard. They work hard.
Те работят усилено.
They don't spend a lot.
Не харчат много.
They just lead normal lives.
Просто водят един нормален живот.
And that was the characteristic of who the millionaires typically were.
И всъщност това са типичните милионери.
Right? And so you just, there were some really important lessons. They did things like invest for the long term in assets that had high rates of return.
Това е един много добър урок. Те са направили, например, дългосрочни инвестиции.
They very much like not using the scissors, they decided not to buy expensive cars.
Техният пример е много близък до този пример, да не използват ножици, за да не плащат за тях.
My 12-year-old son will say, "Oh, look at the car they're driving. They must be rich."
Те са избрали да не карат скъпи коли и неговият син казал: виж каква кола, сигурно е богат повече.
And I say, well, I think their car is valuable, but they probably also owe a lot of money on this car.
Мисля, че колата наистина е ценна, но са вложени много пари в нея.
Does it make them rich? They have debt.
Не ги прави богати.
So what we would have done with more time is we have a lesson where we are going to talk about financing companies. So had we had more time today, we were going to do a lesson on financing companies.
Ако имахме повече време днес, ще да направим един урок и за финансите.
Using debt, borrowing,
как да използваме заеми, как да...
or using equity, which is giving up ownership shares in the company.
Сътрудничество, т.е. да дадем част от
Stocks, shareholders.
Или акции.
So we will give you that lesson translated, right?
Този урок преведен.
And we have some other lessons here to give you as well.
Имаме още множество уроци, които ще ви дадем.
And you'll be able to use them in your classes.
И вие ще може да ги използвате в часовете си.
Some of the material is, it's U.S. oriented with dollars and
Някои от материали, също всичките материали са ориентирани към щатите с долари и въобще примери от тяхната практика.
But so many of the characteristics of entrepreneurs are the same all around the world.
Но повечето от характеристиките на практика на предприемачите са еднакви навсякъде по света.
It's always exciting for me with my students in university.
Винаги е нещо, което вълнуващо за мен като преподавател и моите студенти.
For me to think about those students that are going to become very, very, that they're going to do very well in life.
Че те ще се представят много добре в своя живот, т.е. че ще успеят в живота си.
Because that's one of the great things as a teacher. You're teaching students that you are making better off.
Защото ученето на нашите ученици и студенти ги правим по-добри.
Creating opportunities for them that they otherwise might not have.
Даваме им възможности, които те по друг начин не биха имали.
And some of those opportunities for some of your students will be that they will someday become business owners, entrepreneurs, and may do very well.
Някои от тези възможности за вашите ученици ще бъде, например, един ден да станат собственици на собствен бизнес, т.е. да бъде собствена компания.
Thank you. So this is the millionaire game lesson. And then there's that one. This is great. This is really great. These things that you did. Oh, here. In the U.S. they do these things so that they close up. You put numbers and colors on them. So it'll be red and. Yeah, there's other things they do with it. And kids do this. It's really nice.
Of course, I'd like to have some stress relief on the airplane,
Of course you do.
but I'm not going to use tea. I'm going to use something better than that.
Yeah, but imagine.
But expensive.
Yeah, imagine.
We're going to use the whiskey.
No, imagine you had problems in the past with the alcohol, you're religious, you're Muslim, or you just have allergies to alcohol. It's a big
You got
market.
the answer, yeah.
Big market. And it's not expensive to make it.
Did they get everything? What's this?
That's the only let's go with the
I handed out finance to you.
Did you? Oh, you did. Yeah, okay.
Did they get invention convention?
Maybe not. Well, yeah, they did because they needed the
Okay.
the sheets.
Is it 130 now?
Yeah, it's 140.
Oh, okay, we got to go.
Okay.
We're gonna get your sister.
Well, they're gonna get your-
Or they might want to wait for this. They're gone. They will receive certificates. Yes.
Are they coming? Oh, I didn't know that.
Boy.
So, did any of you write curricula? Are there any authors here who write curricula? People who write the lesson plan.
We were part of one startup project.
Yes?
And we go to read all those business ideas, which everything has business idea, and we go to beat it then. Like we have to make a business plan, and then the best business plan gets the financial.
George was going to talk about a way a creative way to fund these
I mean
businesses.
like business angels.
We were going to talk about angel investors. He was going to talk about his experience with crowdfunding.
Why he didn't do it? Next time.
No, yeah. Yeah, he's got some experience with crowdfunding. Familiar with crowdfunding?
Yeah, it's like basically the cross fund, like somehow it's giving you.
Trying to attract.
You want to talk about it?
My daughter set up a not-for-profit organization in Israel, and they were looking for funding. And so they started off with a petition, and there's an organization called change.org, and they got change.org to support the petition, and they received 378,000 signatures on this petition. The organization is to provide services and assistance for people who have suffered from acid attacks, when you throw acid. And so they set this organization up. She was running the finances on this business, and I took a look at how she was doing this, and I said, perhaps you need a treasurer, because it wasn't very good at all. And she says, yeah, we do. And I said, well, I'll be your treasurer if you like. And she says, wonderful. And therefore I've started to get more and more involved in this organization. But they raise all of their monies, gifts, donations, they raise it all through the internet. And they'll send out an appeal. They'll say, hey, we have to hire an attorney for this particular victim. And in one day, they have the money they need to hire the attorney. This is, by the way, for Uganda. So the prices, you know, the attorney fees aren't quite so high. And now it's become quite interesting. Now we're going to hire a consultant who will help us understand even better how you use the internet in order to get crowdfunding. But the average gift is, the average donation is about $25, so it's not a big gift. But you know, if you get $125, that's ends up being you can hire your attorney for that. So it's been very interesting to see how this goes, and in this case it's a not-for-profit or an NGO, and so people aren't actually making an investment in this.
Just donation.
They're just donations. And you probably know about Kiva. Have you ever heard about Kiva? Kiva, you actually can invest in a particular, well, it's not an investment, but you lend money for a particular for-profit business. And the typical investment.
Startups.
Yeah, startups, exactly. And the typical investment there is $20, $25. And then these people will pay you back. But it's so interesting to see how technology has changed the way people can do business. In politics in the United States, in the Democratic primaries, we've got Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders raised more money than Hillary Clinton. And he raised it all through crowdfunding.
By the supporters, right?
By the supporters, that's correct. I'm so sorry, I'm sitting here speaking in English, and some of you didn't get that, but it's very interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, but because of the code, for example, if I want to make a startup, it's just for profits, you know? It's that the crowdfunding is a bit, I don't think people work the same way. Like, you give money, like, to donate or cause, like, special supporters, like politicians and so on.
Yeah.
Because probably a lot of people, they won't believe just, like, my family and my close friends, yes, of course, they will donate, but not everybody.
That's correct. Now Kiva's a little different because this is supporting people from a different country, and they're asking for much smaller amounts, and you do it because you think it's a good thing to do. But anyway, we didn't get to that. So now you're waiting for certificates, yes? They're bringing certificates for you.